Hoosier Nation, what's up? It's been a while. Geoff and Ben back here, Hoosier Court, Indiana basketball podcast, talking about two wins that Indiana got over Chattanooga and Winthrop. You may have slept through it over the holidays, because I sure did, because those two games were awful. But we're gonna start on a positive note. Indiana won two games. They're 10-3. They're 1-1 in the Big Ten. Big Ten starts on Thursday, January 2nd on Peacock. Get your subscriptions ready with a home game against Rutgers. I'm not sure what kind of juice we'll have in the building, but Ben, it's been a little while since we've had you here. We had our buddy Off and Don had stepped in for you, and then we did a kind of a three-person pod. How's it going, Ben?
It's going. The Eagles have been fun to watch. The Hoosiers.
Saquon Barkley is unbelievable.
2,000 yards. That had to. And we play the Giants this weekend, which has got to make them So.
Yeah, I mean they did the hard knocks thing, and now everybody's going to get fired, and because it's all on tape. So, let's get back to we do have to talk about Indiana basketball because there's a lot to talk about. Since we last spoke, Indiana beat Chattanooga and Winthrop, and those names to college basketball fans. I think I mentioned it a couple weeks ago that those are for those mid to lower tier conferences. Names you've heard in the NCAA tournament many, many times, right? Winthrop, Chattanooga, good programs for the level that they're at. Indiana beat them both by 9 points. In Chattanooga, it's a game before the holiday break, Christmas break, what have you. And, there's just not a lot of juice in the building, not a lot of things going on. And, Indiana wins that by 9. And then, they come back from break and do the same thing against a team that's it shouldn't be anywhere like those should be 20-point plus wins. We've talked about this under Woodson, but I'm just sick of that stuff does hurt your computer rankings, and we'll get into that. I know I talk about that almost incessantly, but Mike Woodson just keeps doing it. He scheduled these bye games that they should win by 20 plus, and they just, what is going on? What are you witnessing? You text me about, hey, this team's boring. Is anyone enjoying this? I saw Crimson Cast said, is there any Indiana fan actually enjoying this experience? I mean, what's going on down there?
Well, part of the problem is in today's world, everything's about the three-pointer. Now, I don't want to see 100 threes a game, but you got to be able to hit the shot to win. And if you go 1 for 20 versus Winthrop, which is 5%, that's not good. I
actually have a trivia question. It was a little. I was going to save it for a little bit later. What do you? There's like 350 some odd, Division I college basketball teams. Where do you think Indiana ranks in made three-pointers on the year? Made three-pointers.
I'm gonna say 115th.
339th.
Oh my God. And we actually pay for our team.
Yeah. And percentage, I mean, this is basketball reference. I mean, I'm just going off of this. So if I'm wrong, I'm wrong. Not a big 307th in percentage. And sure as hell didn't help themselves in percentage wise against Chattanooga. They were 5 for 20, which my Indiana University math tells me that's 25%. And then you already gave us the nugget of 5%. Against Winthrop. The Chattanooga game, not going to spend a ton of time on that. Hell, that's been almost 10 days since that game happened. But again, just a game that you slogged through. I feel bad for the people, honestly, that went to watch it because I just don't think the effort was there. And then, Winthrop, I'm thinking, okay, they're back from break. You want to get a little momentum going into Big Ten, back into Big Ten. They played 2 Big Ten games up to this point. I still hate that, but that is what it is. And you're thinking, I'm watching football. My Bengals won Saturday night, keeping their playoff hopes alive. I tune in. I've got, NFL on. I got IU on, and I see on social media our buddy Off and Don with a picture of Omar Ballo, and upstairs he's just taking a picture with his wife. The guy's doing nothing wrong. Guy's taking, poor Burke's taking heat on social media. And there's Ballo out past midnight and then he just magically doesn't play. He's in. He's the only person in a full warm up the whole entire game. What happened there?
Wait, so that was often Donald's
Yeah.
wife?
So often Donald took a picture of his wife, and in the background is Umar Ballo looking at the camera like, "Oh shit." But he wasn't like taking a picture of Ballo. He just was taking a picture because they were down there for their anniversary. Shout out to Burke and off and Donald. He joins us all the time. And then he posts on social media like when they said, Ballo's not going to play. Um, he's like, just posting this, no context, whatever. Just posting this out there. So yeah, go to his Twitter. I mean, it's out there, but like Ballo doesn't play, right? And he was questionable. And I'm already thinking like, hey, Winthrop, I texted a friend of mine. I said 16 and a half. I said, take Winthrop. There's no way Indiana's covering the spread. And that was before I knew Ballo was out. Then I'm like, oh, we might lose this game. And quite frankly, they damn near did. If you want to get into it. But what's the deal with Ballo? Like, what do we think here? Is it we're going to do this thing. They call it run, pass, or boot. What's going on with Ballo? Is he injured? Did an NIL check bounce, or was he in trouble for staying out late? Which one are you running with? Which one are you saying it is? Is it an injury? Was he out late and Woodson was pissed, or is it an NIL check bounced?
Well, I'm hoping that he had a slight injury because the other two options are just ones you don't really want to see in today's world. Even though one of our call-in specialists was a diehard Miami fan, and they had a guy, Cam Ward, sit out the second half of a bowl game after he breaks a record. I mean, if that doesn't just squeeze you in the nuts, I don't know what does. But that gets me churning. I know you love this new world, Sherm. You love them getting paid. You love all this action.
Ain't my money. I
But
don't care.
hey,
With Ballo, though, but let's stick with Ballo. I know you want to take a shot at Miami, but like Ballo, I mean, I think we all are pretty clear. Like, he was out late. Woodson found out about it and was pissed. I mean, is that what it is? Because in the post game, we haven't even talked about the game yet. In the post game, they asked Woodson about it. And he said, I'm not going to address that. Like, that's literally the worst answer you could give. All you have to say is, hey, this is an internal team matter. I'm working, and that's all we're going to do. No, I'm not going to address it. So then it leaves it all up to interpretation, right? And he goes on to say that, he found out he didn't have a lot of lead time. I mean, are you kidding me? Like, what are you doing down there, Woodson? Like, I really would love to see, I watch Hard Knocks for the AFC North. Shout out to HBO over there. It's really good. And they show about the prep. And I would love to see a Hard Knocks edition of Mike Woodson and what kind of prep he puts in for a game. Because I'm going to say it's probably jack shit. It's a dumpster fire down there. This is the worst 10-3 team I've ever seen in my life. What say you?
The problem is our schedule was so pathetic. The fact that we are 11-3 or 10 isn't even good because we didn't play anyone.
I got another trivia question here.
And how are we like, as a fan, I didn't even want to get up for the game. So how are the players supposed to get up for a Winthrop on a Sunday?
Well, I want to ask you a trivia question first, and then I'll answer that.
Okay.
Number one is, you're playing major college basketball, and if you like to play I would assume you like to play basketball, so you get up for it. That's my answer to that. Okay. There's 18 teams now in the Big Ten. Now that the Pac-12 has joined us. Where does Indiana rank in the net of 1 through 18? Where are they ranked in the conference? 1 through 18 in their net ranking.
14th.
14. You got it right on the head. Pete Rose, 66th in the nation, and they're 14th in the league. That ain't getting you in. You throw together, because what's going to happen? Okay, we talked about this, right? And I'm the idiot that said we'd be 24-7. That was idiocy on my part. My bad, Hoosier Nation. I got you all excited for nothing. Let's say they go 11-9 in the conference. Let's just say they go 11-9 in the conference somehow, some way. That's what that'll put them at 20 wins. And you're going to hear all these slap media, 20 wins and the Big Ten. No, no, they have no wins that are worth a damn. They have no wins. What, Providence, South Carolina, those aren't any good. Providence, South Carolina aren't going to the tournament. Those are the best wins you have. Minnesota at home, that's the worst team in the Big Ten. And you barely beat, I mean, you beat them by 15. Okay. You got Rutgers coming in. They suck. Nope. But you know what? Not against Indiana. The last 11 times we played them, we're 3-8. Indiana's 3-8 against Rutgers the last 11 times they played them. That's a joke, man. What is going on? I mean, I
When
don't know
is
if I can
that?
keep
When
doing
is that
this.
Rutgers game?
Thursday it's on. You know, you must have seen my game notes. I hear it on the screen ahead of me. Thursday night.
Oh
On the
God,
cock.
is it on the cock? It's
Yeah.
on the cock, isn't it? Oh,
Yeah.
God.
Oh yeah. And I don't know what is going on down in India. Let's talk about the game against Winthrop a little bit here, because I don't know, Ben. Like, I don't know if I can keep doing this, because I hate to be like super negative about this. I hate to be super negative. I really do. But I think it's just being realistic. Like, I saw people, and I'd love to talk to Burke to ask him what the experience was like. There's no juice in that building. None. It is like, there's nothing in there. Like, there's people saying, there was a guy I saw, 54 years old. He said, I've been to, dozens of IU games, hundreds. Never once have I ever wanted to leave early, and I couldn't wait to get out of Assembly Hall. And now maybe that's extreme. I don't know, but I just think that, like Mike, barring some sort of unforeseen, complete turnaround, Indiana goes and wins the Big Ten. I mean, I think I don't want to get on here for the next 20 games and litigate Mike Woodson getting fired, but I don't know what the hell else we're going to talk about. Is Ballo going to play Thursday? I mean, what's next? What's next for this team?
Well, so a few notes I do have on the game is we do outbig lesser teams. Like, we outbig them. We to get the ball in the post. We got better players, bigger players. We outbig them. We still giving up wide open threes, which drives me nuts. And my throw your chair moment before I forget was on the free throw where they got the offensive rebound because we didn't move. Do you remember that?
Yeah. I mean, I will say, throw your chair moment was just Ballo over there laughing his ass off. It's a 3-point game. You're not playing, and I'm gonna go out on a limb and say it was an injury. And he's cracking jokes with Malik Renew. Like, this is like whatever's going on in the Colts locker room is the same thing going on in the Indiana Hoosiers locker room. Like, there's no accountability. The players are running the show. Mike Woodson's voice is, and you got Trent Sisley, who's a commit right behind the bench, probably saying, "What the hell did I sign up for?" Like, they've got to clean house. Like, I do not see this team. There is too much talent on this team to be this bad. The 3 losses they have they've been blown out, and they're lucky to have won some of the other games that they've won, quite frankly, and perform like the Winthrop game. To your point, got down to 2. I mean, the Langdon Hatton game. If that guy doesn't come in and give you a little bit of juice, like, you might lose. I mean, Luke Goody, he's probably still shooting in Assembly Hall bricks up. I thought the guy could shoot. He comes to Indiana. What was he, 1 for 10?
He was
3?
1 of 9 from 3-point range.
Geez.
But on a different note, we did have a guy that played pretty well. Miles Rice played a pretty good game. He scored.
I'm sorry. Our guards stink. Like, I'm sorry. Like, yeah, okay. A dead cat bounce. Miles Rice had a good game every once in a while. Got a new haircut when he went home. Fine. You know what? We're not paying you to have one good game against Winthrop. What are you going to do against Rutgers? What are you going to do in the Palestra against Penn State? What are you going to do in the Big Ten? Like, I get it that you want to give him credit, but you know what? He is not. I mean, And don't even get me started on Carlisle. That guy stinks. He stinks.
Yeah, and they
Like, he's
said he
not
could
even
play.
good. I don't know what it is. I don't know what it is. I know he didn't forget how to play basketball, and I watched him play last year in the Pac-12, and he sure, I don't know. I don't know if it was somebody else, but the guy we got sucks. He sucks. He can't make a shot. No one on the team can. Here goes my rant. I'm sorry, but you got me going. Yeah, let's give Miles Rice some credit. I get it. Right? Yeah, okay. He should be. Because somebody's got to put the ball in the damn basket. Something's got to change down there.
And Bryson Tucker had a nice game. Sure, I can't be the one that's more positive than you because I am negative.
I get it.
I know this. I know this team sucks.
Like,
but
why?
I'm trying to
why
find.
do they though? Why do they? Because
They can't shoot.
Every single guy we brought in could shoot when they were not at Indiana. Now they can't shoot all of a sudden.
No, that's not true. Miles Rice and Carlisle could never shoot. They were just scorers.
They can't score now either. Goody could shoot. I'll tell you. I'll be honest with you. Anthony Leal's playing better than anybody because he doesn't make any mistakes. He doesn't do a lot, but he doesn't make mistakes. He moves the ball. He gets it where it needs to go. Like, I think you're going to have to play him over Carlisle. You don't have. I mean, Cups. He's on a medical red shirt. Newton's on a medical red shirt. You think those two guys are going to be back at Indiana next year? Hell no. They went ahead and said, let's do these minor surgeries. I'll get my medical red shirt. I'll do my transfer. We know what's going to happen. It's happening all over the country. And I'm fine with it, by the way. But we're down, like, we're literally down to Rice and Carlisle. And then who? Troy Galloway and Anthony Leal. Who would you rather have out there right now? I know you're a huge Leal fan. Who would you rather have, Carlisle or Leal out there? Or we can go pick somebody up off the street.
I'd rather pick somebody up at the Iber.
Like, what? I don't like it. I mean, I don't see how this gets any better.
But what happened to Mbako? He started the season off on fire. Now he can't make a basket.
No juice, no energy, no care. If the coach doesn't care. All he talks about is getting over this proverbial mountaintop that he's, got to get over the hump. He's been talking about it for 4 years. Like, what hump are you trying to get over? It must be one big MF and hump to get over because you keep talking about it. But I'll tell you, when you start to see, I go back to that, and I'm not, the Hoosier hysterics, like, whatever. Those guys, like, I don't have time for those slaps. But I will say their clip, like, they're accurate. Like, when they're talking about the laughing on the bench, it's a 3-point game. You got a guy that's out for either injury or doesn't care or is in trouble, all of the above maybe. And then he's the one cutting up on the bench with your guys that are like, he's cutting up with Malik Renew in a 3-point game in the second half. If I'm Mike Woodson and I saw that, I just sent their asses to the locker room and said, watch the game from in there or go home because you're not coming back out here. Like, somebody's got to do something. Grow a pair of balls, Woodson, and step up and do something because you're going to lose your job. Quinn Buckner is not going to be able to save Mike Woodson because I'm telling you right now, I talked to tons of people that are like, they're done. It's like Indiana Hoosiers and the Indianapolis Colts. I'm a Bengals fan. It's a bad year there too, but a different situation. Like, it is a mirror image of what's going on. And it's locker room driven. You got a bunch of guys that haven't done jack squat at the college level thinking they're great. And you know what's going to happen? You're going to go, 8-12 in the Big Ten. And then, what are we going to do? Ask for Tom Crean to come back? Like, who's going to take this job? I wouldn't.
There's a guy out there. There's a guy out there, Chris Beard, that would like a move up.
I don't know that Indiana's a move up from Ole Miss, to be completely honest with you. How is it? How is that a move up?
Because Ole Miss, they only care about football. They don't care about basketball.
Hey, have you seen Indiana? Now maybe all we care about is football. Maybe it's flipped on its head. The world. I'm sorry, folks. Like, I was planning to get on here and just talk about the games, but you know what? Those were two joke efforts I mean, we had Logan Duncombe playing. Remember him? He's been on his like fifth school. The guy quit basketball, came back. I don't know what happened. Hope he's okay. Fine, whatever. He was one of Archie Miller's prize recruits out of Cincinnati. That guy stinks. You want to talk about a guy that stinks at basketball? He is worse than anybody on Indiana's roster. That is one thing we did get right of that guy getting out. But yeah, he plays for Winthrop now. He's probably 27. I don't know, but like I'm on one, folks. I can't do this. Like people, they're like, why do you do this? I was like, you know what? I can't just sit around and yell to myself. So I come here to you. I come here to Hoosier Nation. Like, where do we go from here? Who's going to turn it around? Who's going to step up? Mbako, Renew, Galloway, they are what they are. It's got to be a Miles Rice and a Kanan Carlisle have to be the players that we expected them to be. Bryson Tucker, yes, I know I rolled my eyes at him, but he's a young kid. I mean, who's to think he's going to be around after this year? He's transferring. Like, why you can? Why would you stay? Right? Like, and I'm on one tonight, Ben. I just can't. I cannot with this. Like, this is not how this is supposed to go. And I'll be damned if I'm going to sit here and root against Indiana, because I know there are some people. We ain't getting a draft pick. This isn't the New York Giants beating the Colts and ruining their first pick in the draft. Like, there's no draft pick coming. Where does Indiana go from here?
Either we tread water, which we've been doing, or we got to just start all over again. But we can't hire this guy that's a Mother Teresa and can't coach for this shit. I'm sorry. And we need some energy.
There's no prep. He's not putting anything into it. It's clear. There's no prep. The assistants are doing all the scout. They hand it to him. He puts the lineup card out and then walks around and mopes around the sidelines and yells at an official a time or two and then goes smokes a cigar with Quinn Buckner. Like, it's the same old crap. I'm going to start going on profanity-laced tirade. I really can't do that. Really trying to not get banned from YouTube. We are, folks. Find us on YouTube. Go give us a follow on YouTube. Who's Recording Indiana Basketball Podcast. We want to be doing live. Actually, something we're going to do. We're going to try tonight. When you're hearing this, hopefully we can go live. I'm just going to go on an epic rant live on YouTube. We'll see if we get anybody to tune in. But all right, so let's move forward. Indiana, they beat Chattanooga. They beat Winthrop. I guess you could look at this and say, it's a better situation than them having lost one of these two games. So at least I honestly thought like they could lose one of them. Did you? Did you feel like, hey, we might lose one of these two?
No. I mean, we've been beating the shitty. The problem is when we play a good team, we lose by 20 or 30 or 40. That's the problem. I saw it firsthand last year when I went to watch us play Auburn get run out the gym. It looked like
I've never heard that story before. You went to watch them play Auburn?
Oh yeah, I saw him play Auburn.
I'm kidding.
I'm good for 10 years. I'm going to a game live after that one. That one took out all my. That one took my soul.
I mean, I do sit around and I think like I'm insane for doing this, like spending time actually talking about this right now, because like I don't know of like we go back to the Big Ten. We have 18 teams in the league. Where would you like Mike Woodson's the worst coach in the Big Ten? He's the worst. Maybe the guy Ben Johnson from Minnesota. Maybe. Like, who's worse?
Minnesota.
I mean, Pikel's better than him at Rutgers. He's having a down year. Chris Collins is better than him at Northwest. I'm thinking the teams below them, right? Like, maybe Washington. I don't even know who their coach is, but I'm gonna go out on a limb and say he's better than Mike Woodson, right? Like Altman or like go down the list. There's nobody that like Mike Woodson. You could say, hey, we're letting him go. We'll pay his whole salary, and he will coach for free at your school, and no one would hire him at the Power 5 level. Not one school.
Sure,
we have one.
We have a call in. We have a call coming in on the hotline. Should we pick it up?
Can we patch somebody in? I don't even think we can do that. Are we set up for that capability?
Oh, never mind. They're gone.
If we got a little Christmas present over the holidays of some way to patch somebody in, I'll take calls. Oh, trust me, I would love nothing more than to have a 3 hour call-in show and we'll just all commiserate. What I mean, like I don't think anybody in their right mind in a Power Five would take Mike Woodson to be coach.
But you know what the problem was when we hired him is no one wanted him.
I know.
He was an unwanted coach. Like no one wanted him.
We all tried to sell ourselves that this was going to work, and it just hasn't. And I mean, don't get me wrong. Like he's now over 4 of the NCAA tournaments, like an Archie Miller was. But I mean, it looks more and more every game you watch. Trace Jackson Davis just was that good to not let you miss it. Quite frankly, those 2 years. But we're looking at last year. I would love nothing more than for Indiana to turn it around and figure it out. I don't see it.
But
Their,
I
their
feel like
roster's thin in the backcourt. They get an injury. They get one more injury there, then you are. Leal is starting with Galloway. We're right back to last year.
well, I mean, Carlisle's basically might as well be injured.
I'm sure no doubt, no doubt. There will be someone with a lower leg injury against Rutgers. Just they aren't able to give it a go. Party too hard on New Year's Eve. Jeez Louise. I don't know where this goes from here, Ben. I don't know. But Indiana plays on peak. So Indiana, let's look at the conference, okay? Indiana's 1-1. They have win over the worst team in the Big Ten, Minnesota. Thank God they won that game. And they lost at Nebraska, we all know. Now they've got Rutgers. They've got Penn State. Those are 2 games. The Penn State game's at the Palestra. It's not even in Happy Valley, so it'll be a packed crowd. Probably a lot of IU fans there, quite frankly, in Philadelphia. Does Indiana beat Rutgers on Thursday? What do you think? At home?
No.
No. Yikes. Yeah, I mean, yikes is all I can say. And I mean, matchup predictor says 70-30. Wow. I mean,
they got a guy that can actually shoot at least.
Rutgers they're 8-5. They're not. They just beat Seton Hall. They beat Penn State. Ohio State beat them 14. Yeah, that's a game. There's gonna be no students, no juice in the building. It's a Thursday night, 8:30. It's gonna be cold. People might not show up. People are pissed off, man.
Dang.
I'm sure most people have already turned this off, saying, "Hey, I can't be any more miserable than this guy." But it's just like this can't continue. It's been going on for damn near 20 years, with a 1 to 2, one run here or there. Like we're Indiana basketball has a run about every 4, like the Olympics. About every Olympics we get one run. When's the next Olympics? 2028. That'll be the next time we make a damn run. I can't.
Sure.
Official prediction: Rutgers. What's the score?
Score. 75-60.
Yeah.
We can't score. We can't shoot.
Like why? Oh, Mike Woodson's thought. You know what his solution is? Well, I just hope they start going in. Yeah, me too, Mike. That's one hell of a strategy.
You have to try.
You know what? Shout out to Langdon Hatton for actually giving a shit and being ready to play. He's not very good, but at least he came in and gave you 10 rebounds. Hustle.
11 rebounds, 7 points.
Yeah,
but he was
honestly, like they don't win that game without him.
Yeah,
they don't.
He was the only person that looked like he cared.
Yeah, good he cared. He just couldn't make a shot. I don't know. I don't like. I would just I rack my brain. Like Indiana's net, like even if Indiana stayed in the 60 range of the net, if I'm on the committee and I've watched them play, I say no way in hell I'm putting that team in.
And we got no wins.
None.
Nothing.
10 bullcrap wins. I don't know why I'm trying to censor myself. I've already cussed like 10 times on this edition anyway, but 10 bullshit wins. I mean, Providence on a neutral and South Carolina at home, which those wins were by, but like, yeah. I mean, the Big Ten's not even good. Big Ten's not even good. So,
But we're not good.
well, no, no. But the league's not good. That it always seems to happen. Indiana's best seasons are when the Big Ten's like great, right? And then now the Big Ten's not very good and we suck. And we're supposed to be good. So it's all on Mike Woods' shoulders. That, we can blame players, all this stuff. I'm blaming the guy that's making $4.2 million that can't coach his way out of a wet paper sack. And like, quite frankly, like, take the suits off, guys. Wear the quarter zip. The NBA's doing it. Let's get comfortable over that. Let's get out in a stance and coach the damn team instead of sitting there. Like, what are you doing? Like, the only thing Mike Woodson's good at, actually, he can get an open shot out of a timeout. He can, because he's got the NBA background. That's about it. Outside of that, I guarantee there's no prep. And I honestly, I think Cheney and and Hunter and my lights just went out on me too here, so on my screen. So all these guys, I think Walsh, I think they do put in the work. I don't think the head coach does, and it shows. So I don't know where we go from here. Your official prediction: Indiana's going to beat Rutgers on Thursday night because they have to. Because you know why? Because this team will slog it through the Big Ten and go about 500 in the Big Ten and leave it to where people are like, oh, Mike Woodson, he finished with 11 Big Ten, all this, we've been here. Purgatory, dude. Purgatory. All right. Everybody, thanks for hanging in there on my rant. And if your kids were in the car, it ain't my bad. That's on me. I'll try to be better in 2025. But we'll be back after the Rutgers game. And if we can figure out YouTube Live, maybe we'll just go live Thursday night with a cocktail in hand about 11 o'clock and just let it rip. But we are going to try to go live. So if you see us out there on social media, give us a follow. Follow us on YouTube. Ben, as always, I feel more invigorated about Indiana basketball after one of these episodes.
Well, I don't help, but I'm also honest. We suck. I mean, I don't know. I mean, what else can you say?
Nothing else to say.
When you shoot 1 for 20 from 3-point range, you're not winning very many ball games.
Honestly, you shouldn't win any. Like, you shouldn't win any. And so check us out on YouTube. Who's Your Court Pod? Ben, thanks as always.